welcome to your Matchday home SUTV Live, where tonight the Blades travel to St Andrews to take on Birmingham City. We've got lots on the way for you in the next 45 minutes. We'll be taking a look back to last Saturday's 2-0 win over Peterborough United. We'll also have post-match reaction from our manager, and of course we'll be hearing from Billy Sharp, who became the Championship's all-time record goal scorer. And in true SUTV Live exclusive style, we'll be hearing from Daniel Jebbison, who was recently recalled from his loan spell at Burton Albion, and whose mind is now fully set on establishing himself as a regular in this Blades side. All of the build-up to this evening's game is free to all Sheffield United fans. And of course, check out those broadcasting regulations relating to today's game. They can be found on the website sufc.co.uk. Hello and a very warm welcome to SUTV Live. I'm Ashleigh Wilmot and we have got a cracking show for you today ahead of our game against Birmingham City this evening. I'm in the company of two gems to the left-hand side of me. First of all, of course, a man we're very familiar with, Kevin Gage. Kevin, how are you?
I'm absolutely fantastic, thank you.
Good, good. Are you ready for tonight?
Hopefully, yes.
Ready to have a cracking game of football. And of course, we're also joined by the legend that is Brian Deane. Brian, how are you?
I'm good, I'm good.
Ready for a Friday night fixture?
Yeah, why not? You know, 3 points, it's always good on a Friday night, and then you can wake up on Saturday morning all chilled out and then you've done your job.
Exactly, we can wake up tomorrow, 3 points under our belt, and we've got 2 days off.
That would be nice.
Right, happy days.
It's as easy as that, isn't
it? It really is.
Simple.
We should just go home now. Okay, of course, we do have a great fixture on our hands this evening, but we played last week, we played against Peterborough United, a great game that was. Kev, just talk us through your thoughts on that game.
We were superb last week against a poor Peterborough side, it has to be said. Not much opposition, but you could make the case that we didn't allow them to play, and our dominance in the first half, they didn't give them a shout really. They had one little chance at the end of the first half, but we totally dominated that game, and it would have been a travesty had we not come through and won that game as we did.
And I mean, of course, we have got one of the first games of the weekend, like we just mentioned, Brian, but how does that affect things? Last weekend we played at the end of, the latter end of the games. Today we get to play and show what we're made of at the start of the weekend. How will that affect things?
I think it's a good opportunity. I think if you look at both the games, the Peterborough game was definitely a winnable game, and they approached the game very professionally, got the win. And it's always nice then to roll into the next game, and Birmingham, to their credit, they did a good job down here at the beginning of the season, but they've had a few issues, and it's definitely an opportunity for the team to go in and perhaps get a victory in really trying circumstances for Birmingham City.
And we've been in good form recently as well, so we've got every right to be confident going into this game, Kev.
100%, yeah. We should go there with no worries whatsoever. I say this week in, week out, but if Sheffield United do the things that we know we're good at, then we should be too much for the vast majority of teams in this division. And just in the last 2 months, we haven't been bad all season, but just in the last 2 months, we've just formulated a way of play, and the people are looking comfortable in being asked to do the things that they're good at doing, like Njai's in his best position, Norwood's in his best position. The wing-backs are doing the things they're good at. And the centre-halves, obviously, we've gone back to 3 centre-halves. So it's like round pegs in round holes. And we're doing what Sheffield United are good at. And if we do the same tonight, I think we'll be too good for Birmingham.
So 3 points, and you think 3 points, and I think 3 points. Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm always a bit of a... not a pessimist, but I always kind of try and factor in the fact that, they've got 2 or 3 very good players. They've got 2 or 3 players who are potentially match winners on any given day. So we have to kind of have a plan for that. And I think if we can do that and the approach is right, then I have no issue. And I think that, definitely we can get 3 points from tonight's game.
Well, speaking of players we need to be aware of from Birmingham City, we've got a lovely little graphic here. I'm actually matching them tonight. Uh-oh. My colour. So, of course, we've got Lyle Taylor, Scott Hogan and Lucas Jukovic. there, ones to watch. What do you make of them, Brian?
Yeah, I mean, they're all, if you look at the graphic there, they're all big, powerful boys, potentially. Physically, they can cause a problem. You know, the one to watch out for, obviously, is Scott Hogan. He's probably the more...
Well, just from his photo, because he looks a bit scary in that photo.
It does look scary, doesn't it? I'm trying not to look at him. But, I mean, he scored 10 goals this season in 26 games, which is a good return in a struggling side. But also, he's probably, I think he's the most mobile of the three, which, and he does cause problems in behind.
Yeah, he's a Billy Sharp type forward, isn't he? He's scored goals all through his career. You know, he's a hustler and a bustler, and he does make his runs, as Brian's rightly said. Lyle Taylor's been around, hugely experienced centre forward. You know, he's done okay. He's had a lot of clubs, very experienced, and he's an ex-Blade as well. In fact, Hogan was here on loan as well, so you've got 2 ex-Blades playing against us today. So yeah, they're not mugs. They're experienced players, and you give them a chance, and especially Hogan. You know, if you give him half a chance, more often than not, he'll hit the target. And, you know, and that's why he's got so many goals as he's got in his career.
Yeah, the boy Jugovic as well. He's very experienced in and around the box. His hold-up play is very good. And I've seen him, you know, he peels off really well towards the back post. So it's not going to be an easy given.
Having quality strikers like those three, does that mean our defence have just got to watch out today? And, you know.
Well, yeah, but I've every confidence in our defence. You know, Bash coming back in has been brilliant for us. You know, we look so much more comfortable with him in the right side centre half. Egan's more comfortable with Bash and a left-sided centre half alongside him. I think he suits that central role better in a 3 centre-back system than just playing as one of a 2 centre-back in a 4-4-2 or whatever. So I think we're more than comfortable there. And defensively, I think, I mean, we're going to talk about Bogle later. I mean, he's been superb going forward, but even defensively, he's been really, really good. He's added a new, you know, dynamic defensive aspect to his game almost. I've been really impressed with him.
And who's caught your eye, Brian? Who have you been particularly impressed with at the moment?
As Kevin has said, you know, Jaden Bogle's, he looks very good.
He's taken him.
Well,
he picked him.
I can have him as well, can't I? No, you know,
what about where's Fodringham? We talked about him as well before.
Yeah, he's been a very much a calming influence at the back, which is what has been needed really. I think when you've got a goalkeeper who is calming, then there's less nerves when the ball's going into the box. So he's been very good.
And of course he did also make that crucial save against Peterborough last week when we were 0-0. And it's things like that. That's why he's made it into the team
Absolutely,
today.
yeah. It's a shame for Ryan Brewster because I felt that, you know, he certainly started the game very well. Some very good runs in behind the back 4 of Peterborough. So that's a shame. Billy obviously goes without saying. You know, he'll be looking to score again tonight. So, yeah, I think that one thing that Paul Heckingbottom's brought in is he's brought in a consistency to the side. Everybody seems to be on the same page, and everybody seems to be comfortable with the instructions that are out there.
Well, let's take a look at how both teams line up ahead of tonight's game. First of all, we'll take a look at the visitors. So Birmingham City, this is their side to face Sheffield United. They are unchanged from their game against Derby, where they came away with a draw, 2 points for them. What do you make of the team, Kev?
Well, the people we talked about, you know, we've got to look after Hogan. We've got to make sure Taylor's keep control of him. They're experienced team. Bakuna's been around, hasn't he? Gary Gardner, they've been at Villa, you know, West Brom and stuff. Mark Roberts has got the longest throw you've ever seen in your life, so he'll, you know, they do rely on their set pieces a lot, so they'll be very difficult at set pieces, and we know what they're all about because we experienced it here at Bramall Lane first game of the season, where we were all up for it, and you know they just nullified us, and it was just a non-event from our point of view. So you know, all the team will have had and watched, obviously. They'll have had their instructions, but I just hark back to the same thing, you know, what it's up to us and to match them first of all physically and for their enthusiasm and their desire and all those other words, all those other adjectives. And if we do that, then I think you know, I repeat myself, I think we'll be fine, and our quality will tell.
Worth mentioning as well that Scott Hogan and Lyle Taylor were their goal scorers last weekend, so definitely ones to watch today. Now let's have a look at how we line up ahead of the game tonight. Remember, kickoff is at 2:45, so we've just got half an hour to go. Now this is our team. We've got a few changes here. Brewster is injured, so Berger comes in for him. Davis in for Robinson, who's poorly, so we wish him all the best. And Fleck in for Howrahane. Brian, your thoughts?
I think, again, you know, I think the players who are coming in know their jobs, which is very important. There's not too much in the way of disruptions, so I'm comfortable. The squad is one that is, you know, it's very adaptable, but we're also, you know, we talked about Ryan Brewster, you know, but we've brought in somebody who, you know, we brought Jebbison back, and for example, that is gonna mean that there's very little in the way of transition and upset in the squad.
Yeah.
I think it's a brave team selection from the manager, because it would have been easy just to swap, you know, striker for striker. So injured Brewster out and maybe bring McBurney in, you know, it might be the obvious choice, or McGoldrick, you know. But I think he's been quite brave, and I think it's like horses for courses tonight, because Birmingham are a physical side, and they will be reliant on the set pieces. So I think that's half the reason we brought Berger in there, just to solidify the midfield, and also he's 6'4", 6'5", so you know it's handy to have someone that big to help out both offensively and going forward. So yeah, I think it's brave, because as I say, it would have been easy to stick with a winning kind of formation and the way the team was set up. But I think this might be just a reaction to how Birmingham play, and it gives Sander Berger a chance to get back in the fold and, you know, and cement a place.
But again, it's nice to see that, you know, he can change the formation slightly depending on the kind of players that he's got, and certainly I would think that Sander Berger's the kind of player who he wants to get involved. You know, the more he's involved, I think we need to see a lot more from him now. You know, he's had a stop-start season, but now we need to see the best of him.
And we're going to need all our squad, aren't we? Yeah. With the amount of games we've got, you know, we've got a lot of games coming up, because we're a couple of games behind everybody else, remember? So we're going to be utilising all those squad players. Well, let's take a look at all of our squad players and how things went against Peterborough on Saturday last week.
And we're underway here at London Road. Brewster to chase. He's going to get to this as well, Ryan Brewster. Show a great turn of pace. He's into the penalty area. Brewster sets it up. Chance here maybe for Njai, the keeper. Here's Bogle into the penalty area. Tight angle. Bogle with a strike. Njai brings Howrahane into play. Norwood's corner into the near post, where Egan heads it over the bar. Bogle. Still great feet by Bogle. Bogle doesn't mind hitting with his left. Spilled by the goalkeeper. Njai, still Njai, Bogle, oh, wonderful feet by Bogle again. Jaden Bogle right across goal. Short one this time. Howrahane worked it to Norwood. Opts to cross, look at the space, what a chance again for United. And Egan heads over the bar. Might get more here, Clark Harris is through, Clark Harris, that was a good save. And McGoldrick picks out Howrahane, lovely skill. Connor Howrahane. There is the half-time whistle. Howrahane, Norwood, trying to get it in towards Sharp, gets a second bite, and Sharp finishes it. United have the breakthrough, and Billy Sharp has the record of the most goals in the Championship. It's been coming, and it's Billy Sharp who gives the Blades the lead. Keeper came. Wasn't entirely convincing, and Jai then goes down, comes to the edge of the box, and that was a really good hit by Norwood. And now Billy Sharp's got a clean run here. Sharp, saved by the keeper. McGoldrick on the stretch. Towards the back post, it's loose. Well, they're congratulating Chris Basham. I just wonder if it's gone in off a Peterborough player. It doesn't matter. United have that crucial second goal. 10 minutes remain, and the Blades are in a great position now. There's the full-time whistle.
Great to watch those highlights back, and here we can listen to Billy Sharp post-match on his thoughts on becoming a record goal scorer.
Billy, another day, another goal, another record. How are you feeling tonight after that one?
Yeah, I'm relieved I've finally got it, because it's been talked about for a few weeks now, but obviously we had the games called off. I'd have liked it before Christmas, but no, I'm just delighted I'm still playing in Sheffield United team. Winning games and getting on the score sheet is obviously something that I love doing, so it's a proud moment for myself and the family, because the kids have been getting on my back a little bit. They've got more goals than me this season, so I'm chasing them, but it's nice to get the record, but to just get the breakthrough today and help the team get the 3 points was more important. And I thought we've come here and been really professional, patient, and finally created the chance to get the breakthrough. And then the lads at the back at the minute, they're on fire, really solid, and whatever they're doing, that it gives us a platform to go and win games. You know, not just Wes, but the lads at the back. You know, I think it's 7 clean sheets in 11, 12 games, so credit to them. And it's a bonus that we're putting goals in the other end as well. So long may we continue to do that, because we've got a few games in hand, which obviously that's another thing. We have to stay patient, but hopefully we can keep the momentum going and keep chasing people down.
The goal seemed to come at an important time, really on top in the first half. Plenty of shots across the team, but it hadn't come. Did you think it just settled everyone down a bit? Yeah,
I could feel it coming. You know, they were lashing at a few crosses that we were putting in. I felt as though it was only a matter of time, and obviously the more we put in the box, the more we looked dangerous. And obviously I should have scored again after, but we put the game to bed with the second goal, which was important for us to take a little bit of pressure off. And it was a good performance, a patient performance, and one that hopefully the fans will enjoy going on.
Brian, as a forward yourself, how impressive are these stats?
Well, I mean, you know, anybody would be proud of that. I mean, he's one thing about Billy, he's been consistent when it comes to goal scoring, and he seems to be able to kind of get the goals that are really important at the right time. And certainly if you look at this season, when we've needed somebody to step up and keep us in there, he's been the man. But yeah, I mean, you look at while we were going for promotion, you know, it was his goals. You know, his partnership with David McGoldrick, and he's just carried on. And you know, I keep making a point of saying that, you know, he's the guy who really the other forwards should be trying to get past. You know, and it's a case of who's going to step up and who's going to take that crown down there, and they've got to be thinking like that, you know, because that's the kind of competition that we want. We want somebody who wants to be the top man, you know, and at the moment we have to turn around and say, well, Billy's still the top man. I'd be saying to the other forwards, come on, you got to step up now. You know, you can't just say it after you. You know, we want this competition. You know, that's what makes us great forwards.
He is a real presence on the field. You know, whether he's starting or whether he's on the bench, if he's coming onto the field, you can just feel everyone kind of lift, home or away, right, Kev?
Yeah, I think he's an inspirational character as well. He's certainly in the dressing room, I would imagine he is as well. But Brian's exactly right. He says, you know, he leads by example. But this year, we expect him to score goals because that's what Billy Sharp does. But his general play has been outstanding this year. These assists have been out of this world. You know, some of the crossing, the little dink crosses he's put in for others, and his hold-up play, you know, keeping the ball and retaining the ball. And he's cute because he wins us fouls, you know, he takes the pressure off, you know, gets us up the pitch. So just not just his goals, we expect that, but his all-round play has been absolutely magnificent all season. I
mean, we could probably sit here and talk about Billy Sharp for the rest of the show, but let's just have a talk about what happened. You know, we got to half-time 0-0 against Peterborough United. We were on good form, but didn't really have much to show for it. And, you know, Kev, you were saying at half-time, you know, we might not come away with anything here.
Well, it didn't turn into one of those games, you know, where you
Thankfully.
have all the possession, all the shots, everything, and then you end up drawing, or even worse, you know, you lose 1-0 or something like that. And that's the way the kind of first half was feeling, especially when they just missed that chance at the end. And then it's just typical Billy, isn't it? He just gets not even half a chance. You know, Norwood tried to flip the ball through to him. It was a misplaced pass, it bobbled up off the defender's foot, and Billy's just instinctively swiveled and hit it on the half volley. He's not looking to see where the goal is. He knows exactly where the goal is. Brian knows what I'm talking about. He's an instinctive striker. You know where the goal is. You're just trying to get something on it and guide it in. It's just typical Billy.
And psychologically, how much would getting a goal in the first half, how much would that settle the squad into the second half, especially when you're playing so well?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the longer you go on, the more nervous you're going to get. But, it's always good. When you've got a goal scorer on the pitch, you've always got a chance of getting something early on. That is something you look to. And when you've got somebody like Billy on the pitch, everybody's going to respect him in the league, but they still don't have the experience to be able to close him down in the box, which is a massive plus for us. So a first half goal today would be amazing.
Keeping our fingers crossed. Well, it's not out of possibility. Let's have a listen to what Paul Heckingbottom had to say post-match on Saturday.
Paul, 2-0 victory at Peterborough tonight. Solid win in the end, comfortable win in the end. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, really, really good performance and a strong performance, I think. So, yeah, well deserved. We had to be patient. We spoke about patience before the game, so I thought we started really strongly and we're good in possession with a threat set plays. But we had to wait a while, to get that goal. But I don't think anyone can argue it was deserved, and then I don't think anyone can argue against us getting a second either. So, yeah, we were strong today because it can be a difficult place to come. But Wes made a save first half. I think that was it. I can't remember a shot even second half, so I thought we were really dominant.
Yeah, after being well on top at half-time but not finding the goal, the 2 goals in the second half came at good times, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. And as I said, we started the second half just as bright and got on top. And, you can't panic. You just got to be patient. Listen, if you're playing like that and you're dominating in such a way and the goals don't come, it's just one of those nights. But I think you can make big errors by panicking and getting anxious and then opening the game up for the opposition. But we didn't have to do much more other than maybe pass the ball a little bit quicker. But when you're getting, 12, 15 shots in a half of football, you're doing something right. And we just believed that we needed that little bit more quality and composure in and around the box. And that's what Billy gave us when the ball dropped to him. He took the bounce out of it and caused an half volley and, made us relax, settle down. And as I said, I think the second goal was probably a fair reflection then.
Another day, another goal, another record for Billy Sharp. I mean, what can you say about him that's not already been said?
No, the word's just been used there in the last interview about his hunger, and I think that's probably the best thing to say because he looks after himself. He trains hard. Fans don't see that. They might see him working hard on the pitch, but he really does. He trains hard, responds to getting pushed, and he's got a hunger to score goals, and that record will mean a hell of a lot to him.
Great to get Paul Heckingbottom's thoughts on the game, especially his thoughts on our one and only Billy Sharp. Now, I'm sure all of you know that Monday night the transfer window did close and the Blades managed to get one more signing in before the 11 p.m. deadline. Of course, that was our sign on loan from Premier League club Brentford. Here is Charlie Good.
Charlie, welcome to Sheffield United. How much are you looking forward to this opportunity?
Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be here. It's a massive club to be joining, and I've kept a close eye over recent weeks, and I'm really, really excited to be here.
You beat the deadline and comfortably, although it is the last day, so that's obviously a bit of a relief for you as well. Yeah,
do you know what? It's not actually my first experience of deadline day, so this one's a lot earlier than my last one. But I'm just happy to get it sorted.
I'd imagine there'd been a few teams interested in you, so why Sheffield United?
Yeah, of course. I'm a player that is desperate to play. I love playing week in, week out, and I wanted to come here and be a part of it. I've been watching, as I said, from the outside over recent weeks, and with the games in hand and where they're positioned in the league, there's no reason why we can't fly up that league, and I want to be a part of that.
You mentioned a bit about the club there. What else do you know about the team, the squad, and the players that you'll be playing alongside?
Listen, as I said, as an outsider, you only have to look at Sheffield United over the last few years, the success they've had. The squad's very similar to the Premier League squad that was sort of doing so well over the last few years, so you only got to look at that and see the quality that we have amongst us, and I just really want to be a part of that.
How do you think your attributes will tailor you to fitting into this side?
Yeah, I hope they'll really work. I'm an aggressive defender, maybe slightly old-fashioned, and like to get stuck in and give 100%, and bringing the ball out from the back is a part of my game, and try and make things happen. So, the one thing you can guarantee is I'll leave everything out there.
there's good competition here, as I'm sure you'll know, and I'm sure that's what you want coming into a side as well. A couple of clean sheets recently, so it'll be tough to break into the side, won't it?
Yeah, of course. You know, when there's a team that's doing well, it's always going to be hard. I'm not expected just to be thrown straight in, but I'm a player that's desperate to play, and I've come here to play, so I want to try and get my shirt and keep it.
How much are you looking forward to playing under Paul Heckingbottom?
Yeah, very much so. Had some good conversations with him. I know Stuart McCall as well, used to work with him, so it's quite nice to know that. And yeah, as I say, everything's been very positive so far, and can't wait to get started.
Great to hear from our new signing there, Charlie Good, joining us from Premier League club Brentford. Now here are his stats. Kevin, what do you make of those?
Well, he's actually a late developer, isn't he? Because he was around the non-league scene, you know, for a couple of 3 years. And he's travelled about a bit, Scunthorpe, Northampton, you know. It hasn't been an easy ride for him. He's had to work for his success. Although he was with Brentford, he wasn't a regular in the Brentford side. He's played a few games, yes. So he's got a bit of Premier League quality about him. But yeah, I mean, I think it's probably just what we needed. I think we needed cover for people at the back. And I quite like the fact he's 6'5" as well. I think that always helps.
Yep, you can't miss him.
So I think he's actually stated he can play anywhere across the three central positions, so that he's probably comfortable on his left side as well, which that tells me. So yeah, I think a really good signing, to be honest. You
mentioned there that he started in non-league. He's had to really work hard to be where he is, and that apparently has attracted Paul Heckingbottom to him as a signing. I mean, it's good to know that he's willing to work hard and he actually wants to be here, Brian.
Yeah, I always like to... I think sometimes when you get these players coming through non-league, they've come up the hard way. Non-league football's very physical, so you know straight away that there isn't a chance that he's going to be intimidated by anybody. You know, that's probably a case of if somebody's coming, he's going to say, bring it on, you know, because some of the tackles that I've seen in non-league are pretty tasty. But it's good that, you know, he says he's comfortable on the left or the right, which is also a plus. So it's great to have that level of cover, and especially from a Premier League club like Brentford, who are renowned for playing good football. So we are aware that he's probably somebody who's going to slot into the way of playing here very easily.
Yeah, very much looking forward to seeing him get out there, get out with our Blades. Kev, do you think Paul Heckingbottom is going to be just relieved that the transfer window is now over, so he knows who he's got to play with?
Yes, very much so. I think all managers kind of feel that, don't they? It's a lot of uncertainty. I think we had our targets. Well, I think what's good about this window is everybody knew like the parameters we were working in. So the club came out early, didn't they, and said, look, we're not going to be signing 10, 15, 20 million pound players. We're not in that kind of market anymore. We've got what we've got. If anything, there'll be a few outs, you know, rather than ins.
Yeah.
The ins are on loan, of course. And the outs, you know, we haven't sold anybody, but we've got a few squad players. So I think as a whole, I think we're in a better position than we were going into that window, definitely.
And it's great that we've been able to keep hold of Morgan Gibbs-White, isn't it, Brian?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's injured at the moment, but I think he's going to play a key role to the end of the season. He's a very, very good player. And if you look at how, you know, him being in the side, for me, makes a massive difference. You know, but like I said, you know, we've got a lot of very good players in the squad, and the squad just seems to be, it's a good squad because Paul Heckingbottom's got a lot of different options. You know, if we've lost Ryan Brewster, and he's changed the squad, he's changed the team around a little bit. We brought in a player who the club paid over £20 million for, so that just bodes well. You know, if we can get everybody fit in the next sort of like 4 to 6 weeks, you know, and then it's going to be a hell of a journey to the end of the season.
Now, we can't exactly call him a new signing, but he has just been recalled from his time at Burton Albion, and it is of course Daniel Jebbison, and we caught up with him earlier this week.
Yeah, you know, I'm pleased to, you know, come back from my loan spell. I enjoyed it, but I'm with Paul and Jack now, who's obviously gave me my debut and kind of, you know, gave me a kick on in my career, so I'm happy with them and I'm thankful.
When did you find out that you were coming back? Obviously this deal was ratified on deadline day, but did you know beforehand that there's a good chance of you coming back here?
Yeah, you know, there was rumours about it, but I wasn't really too focused on that. I was just focused on, you know, Burton just playing and having fun. But it was the game after Lincoln where I've been told that I'm coming back because, you know, injuries and stuff like that had a big influence on their choice. But I just want to come back and, you know, bring what I've learned from Jimmy, you know, what I developed, and try helping up the team, go up the table.
For someone that's 18, how beneficial was it to get out into League One and play so many games?
Yeah, just playing men's football, that's what you need really. You just need to keep playing football. That's how you're going to improve, especially for me as well, playing with men, getting roughed up. You know, try bring that into my game, so it's good.
How much do you feel have you improved in this last 6 months or so?
Yeah, I think I improved a lot on and off the pitch, but there's still some room for improvement everywhere. You can always improve. You know, I always want to, you know, get better, be the best. So I think the fans will see a big change. And
9 goals in all competitions. You must be really pleased with that contribution.
Yeah, you know, I wanted to get 10, but nearly there. But maybe get another 10. Got the half of the season, yeah.
Yeah, and getting into this Sheffield United side, I mean, there's a lot of competition, so what do you feel you have to do to sort of start knocking on the door now?
You know, I'm just trying to, you know, get myself back into the squad now, you know, just work hard. You know, I'm only here to please, you know, the managers and get my head down, just focus on that. You know, do your extras, stuff like that.
And you mentioned Paul Heckingbottom and Jack Lester already. You know, fantastic for you and the other young lads that they've got the job, because there's a clear pathway, isn't it, now for the young players?
Yeah, you know, he knows all the academy players here. I'd actually give some advice to some of the, you know, youth, because he knows you and he knows what you're like. So try. You could always be. You could knock on your door at any moment and say your time's up. You know. So be ready.
Great to hear from Daniel Jebbison there. Of course, he's just been recalled from a very successful loan spell at Burton Albion. Brian, he's such an exciting prospect, and so many people are looking forward to seeing the 18-year-old back at Bramall Lane.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at he's got all the attributes, hasn't he? Very mobile, tall, athletic. You know, it looks like he's got a bit of charisma as well, so potentially could go very far in the game, you know, if he keeps a level head. And yeah, I like him. He looks, you know, he's a kind of forward that I like seeing. You know, he's quite, you know, you can play in a 2, you can play in a 1 or just a 3. So, look, that's the way the game's going, and he looks like a real prospect to me. Yeah, I like him.
And he just said there, Kev, you know, I'm not actually happy with the 9 goals. I wanted 10. And he's ready to come back and give us 10. We want more than 10 though, don't we?
Of course we do, yeah. We want another 10, another 9 would be lovely. Yeah, all sorts of goals, the one-touch finishes. That one where he's just back-flicked it in, that was superb. You know, that's instinctive finishing, isn't it? But, you know, he's in the right place at the right time. Yeah, OK, that's 2 yards out, but he's got to be there. He's got to get into those positions. And as Brian said, he looks very rangy. I've actually got a friend who's a Burton Albion season ticket holder, and he's been raving about him. He's absolutely gutted that he's gone. He's only going to get better, isn't he? It would have been easy for Sheffield United, actually, to just say, do you know what, let's just keep him there to the rest of the season for his development. But, you know, we have a real chance of getting into those playoff spots, you know. And with Brewster being injured, it was a no-brainer to get him back. It really was, and it just gives us another great attacking option, you know, if should we need it.
I actually think that bringing him back is the more sensible. I know he's back and it's easy to say, but if you think about his development, okay, he's proved that he can play and score goals in the league below, you know. So being in and around a squad that is potentially looking at getting into the playoffs is only going to. It kind of accelerates his development, doesn't it? 6 months, because could have spent another, you know, till the rest of the season down at Burton and then looking to come up. But this time he's going to get an idea of what this kind of environment is all about.
And we do have to be patient with him. He is still young, but very, very, very exciting. Now, of course, we've got our fixture tonight, which is going to be exciting, but a lot more to come. It is relentless. We all know the league is relentless. We're facing West Brom on Wednesday the 9th, a Wednesday fixture. Shake things up a bit. Join us here on SUTV Live from 7 p.m. for a 7:45 kickoff. And next up, Huddersfield Town on the 12th, Saturday the 12th, 12:30 p.m. Join us here from 11:30 for all the build-up on SUTV Live with John Rawlings and the gang. It's going to be a good one. We've got quite the month in front of us, haven't we?
There are a lot of games coming up, yeah. There's a couple of run of fixtures where we're at Bramwell Lane 3 times in a week. It goes Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. And those games are going to be absolutely crucial to see where we finish in this league.
Yeah. Are you going to be all of them, guys? You're devout fans?
Well, I will.
Yeah, Kev, you're always here.
I've
Brian,
got no choice.
You coming along?
I've got other commitments, but I'm always available if SUTV need me, that's for sure.
Well, good thing is you come and watch. You can watch SUTV on YouTube or wherever we are. So yeah. We're always here. So make sure to keep coming back to join us for all of your build-up to this month's games. Now let's take a look at the archives. We've gone and dug through the SUTV archives for a classic match against Birmingham City. Let's take a look.
Powering in there, Henderson blocked on the line and packed. Caught at the second time of asking there by Mike Taylor. Henderson, here's Webber, chance Sheffield United, goal! 3 minutes before half-time, the breakthrough from Danny Webber.
Well, that's what Henderson's all about, isn't it? The quality of the ball is just what Henderson thrives on. You see the position, played in, and that is offside when it's played in for me. But Henderson does exactly the right thing. You think the keeper will get that? I think he should do better here. It looked offside, Henderson does exactly the right thing. And you think, well, Taylor's got to do a little bit better for me there.
Cottrell take this one, Kilgallen, saved but followed wide somehow.
Well, how did that miss? Again, the quality of the set piece is absolutely superb. Attacked well by Kilgallen, does everything right, and you think just put it in an empty net. Taylor makes a decent save, and you think follow up, back of the net.
Carsley, McSheffrey, Murphy, good build-up, Cameron Jerome. Birmingham City back in it. Cameron Jerome claims the goal. Morton forward on the right. He's been pushed into midfield to incorporate Lee Bromby after the calf injury forced off Halford. He's done really well, Morton. And a penalty. There was a push in the back of Beattie. Massive moment this. Not just in this match, but in perhaps the outcome of the season for these clubs. Cottrell, cool as you like. Sheffield United lead again. Cottrell has his first goal for the club. And a massive step towards 3 points now for the Blades.
A little throwback for us all to enjoy there. That was from March 2009, our 2-1 win over Birmingham City. So we'd like a clean sheet though, I think, today. That would be nice. Now let's take a look at how Sheffield United line up against Birmingham City. I know we did touch on this at the beginning of the show. Guys, 3 changes. Brian, who you got your eye on?
Got to go with the man, innit, Billy. You know, we've got to look no further. But I also like Iliam Ndiaye. You know, I've been very impressed with his footwork and his working in around the box. So he's the kind of person who I love seeing. You know, he's not like one of these guys who you think is just going to do the standard stuff. You know, he's going to put a trick in. He's going to play a 1-2. He's a little bit off the cuff. And these are the guys that, you know, people like to see nowadays. You know, they're a little bit different and, you know, low centre of gravity. He's got a shot on him as well, athletic, so, yeah. Definitely
one to watch. Kev, final thoughts from you before we have to say goodbye?
Yeah, I agree with Ndiaye. He's a match winner. We've got a few in our team. But for me, it's our 3 centre-halves have to stand up and do the job today, plus the keeper. Keeper's going to have to come for stuff and catch things and punch things away. We've got to deal with their set pieces and then rely on the likes of Norwood, you know, to control the game and get hold of the ball and keep the ball and make us tick. And Fleckenberg alongside him, getting forward and supporting the forwards.
For me, it's all about tempo again. You know, you can't do anything without having a good tempo, matching the opposition, but also, you know, dictating the play through the speed of your own, of how your team operates.
We've definitely got a good match on our hands this evening. Kev, thank you so much for your thoughts. You're going to go join Matt Young in commentary. And right now, let's hear from our manager, Paul Heckingbottom, ahead of tonight's match.
There will pose us problems with how direct and intent they are with putting you under pressure, whether that's from set plays, whether that's from balls into your box in open play. So we know we're going to have to stand up to that. We're going to have to earn the right to play. We're going to have to earn the right to get the ball down and pass it, but at the same time stand up to all their threats, which is as I've said, regardless of style of play, they still get a lot of big chances per game. They will put you under pressure, and we need to be ready for that, and also manage the game well in those situations.
Yeah, the Mark Roberts long throw, something you remember?
Yeah, something I remember, yeah. So that comes in from both sides. As I said, the set plays, early balls into your box, midfield runners into your box. Everything that does create those chances and disrupts you as a team, they do it, they try and do it. And so regardless, as I said, regardless of style of play, regardless, they create chances in games and they make it difficult for you. So we have to be ready for that, and that's something we've been speaking about.
The one person who does seem undroppable, quite rightly so, is Sharp.
Yeah, he's done great. Obviously, his record's a big thing and something he's really, really pleased with. And you know what? The good thing is, from my point of view, and is he's got people chasing him, so that hunger's there. That was the word we all used, weren't it, after the game? So, yeah, he's done great. Trains well, looks after himself, and obviously scored again. So he's in a good place. But he's another one. He also knows the competition now. The way we've got Ollie McBurney training, Dids is back, Jebbo, Illiman is one of the front players, Morgan is an attacking player. So they're the ones who's available on the grass right now. So yeah, the competition in these positions is good, it's strong, and it's where we need it to be.
Great to hear from Paul Heckingbottom. Now, just very quickly, Brian, before we head over to the match stream. Brian, prediction. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking 2-1.
2-1?
To the Blades, yeah.
OK, I'm thinking 2-0. I want a clean sheet. So
okay. I'll settle for 3 points.
OK, yeah, to be fair. We just want the 3 points here in the studio. Of course, we always want to hear from you and your thoughts on the game, so do get in touch. Hashtag SUTV Live. And have a chat with me and Brian and Kevin and Matt and everyone. So enjoy the game, and we'll see you at half-time.